Hello and good morning, everybody. Welcome to Songbirds Creations. Doesn't look like I've got anybody here yet, but to anybody coming in, welcome into the Songbirds Nest. It's good to see you. I'm going to sip on my coffee. Hey, Kimmy, good to see you. How are ya? It's been a while. I feel like I've got something on my face over here. I don't know. How are you doing, Kimmy? Have you had any of the bad weather that's been going through? Thank you. I appreciate it. I know you've been saying you've been missing me. You and a few other people have been saying so. Yeah, we never had a tornado warning. We did have a watch a couple of days ago, but never got to a warning. But we had the craziest storm Friday. Hey, Debbie, welcome in. Friday, I was cooking, and all of a sudden, this big gust of wind comes up, and I looked out my kitchen window, and the air just looked absolutely gray. So I ran out on the front porch. I had Icy chained up out front, and I grabbed him and brought him in. We were getting just an insane dust storm. Well, then later on, we got a thunderstorm, but the first strike of lightning, the thunder, the way it hit, I thought something had exploded. So I jumped up and went outside to look to see if I could see what was going on. And I stood out there and watched this lightning. I have not seen lightning like that in so long. I mean, it was just insane lightning. So, but I love storms, so I really enjoyed watching it. But yeah, it was some crazy lightning. Hey, hey, Julianne and Kimberly and Karen. Hey, welcome in. Good to see you. Wow, all my buddies are here. Debbie, thanks so much, everybody, for coming in. So glad to see you. So, yeah. So has anybody else been getting any of this crazy weather that's been going around the country? I know it's just been hitting all over the place. Hey, Marianne. Good to see ya. Welcome in. Oh, such good coffee this morning. I'm having, it's cinnamon vanilla coffee, and then I've got chocolate creamer in it. So it kind of reminds me when I was a kid, we used to get this Mexican chocolate that you could make hot chocolate with, and it was like chocolate with cinnamon flavor or cinnamon powder in it. And so it would make like a cinnamon hot chocolate. And that's kind of what my coffee reminds me of this morning. Oh, cool, Marianne. I can't wait to see it. Oh, wow, Kimberly. That's scary. I've only seen one tornado since I've lived here in Indiana. And it went over us. So it was kind of funny because I had a new neighbor that had just moved in, and she and I met standing out in the middle of the street watching the tornado. We both heard the siren and ran outside to to see what was going on and met up in the middle of the street. So we stood there and talked and watched the tornado go over. So that's the Midwest for you. We hear tornado warnings. We don't go to the basement. We go out to the street and watch for it. Yeah, yeah, Julianne, the Mexican chocolate is yummy stuff. Hello, Catherine. Nice to see you. Yeah, we've mostly had rain. We've had wind. We've had some really windy storms go through, but no tornadoes, no hail, thank God. But I've kind of held off putting my plants out in my garden um, because I was afraid we were going to get hailstorms and I'd lose all my new plants. So I didn't put anything in the garden yet, which I guess I probably will do today, even though it's a little chilly out and I really don't want to go out there and work, but I need to. So I'll do it. So let me show you guys a few of the things I've been working on. Some of them I have posted in Facebook and some of them I haven't, but I've been, hello Bima, nice to see you. I have been doing a lot of diamond painting the last few months. For all of March, I kind of took a break from crocheting because my right hand was giving me a lot of trouble. And so I took a break and didn't do a whole lot of crocheting. I mean, I can never absolutely stop crocheting. That crochet is my thing. So, I just can't totally stop crocheting, but I did slow down considerably. So, hey, Lana, welcome in. So I slowed down from the crocheting, and I had started diamond painting a few years back. A friend of mine had tried it, and so I decided to give it a try, and I kind of got a little hooked on it. And but then I put it back down for a while and went back to doing my crocheting most of the time. And Camille over at Camille's Creations had kind of inspired me to pick it back up again because she was doing live streams while she diamond painted. And I was like, well, gee, I ought to get my diamond paintings out and work on some while she's live streaming. So I did that. And so that kind of got me rehooked on it. And so since she started that, I think it was back in February, something like that. Anyway, since she started that, I have done a whole bunch of diamond paintings. So let me grab some of them. Some of them I have posted and some of them I have not. But I will show you some of the things that I've done. So this is my most recent one that I just finished. And I've got it upside down. And this one is, if I can get it in focus, this one is going to be going to the fair. Yes, it is a big one. It is 40 by 50 centimeters. And I've got to get it mounted and framed, and I'm going to send that one to the fair. That was a custom kit that I had made from a picture that I took of some dahlias that I grew in my garden a few years back. So yeah, so I've got that one, and then my other one that's going to go to the fair is also another big one, and it's my one of the week. And that was a custom kit that I had made. And that's a picture of Lake Michigan at sunset. And I can't show all of these because some of them are gifts, and I don't want people to know what they're getting. And some of the gift recipients are here, so I'm not going to show all the diamond pictures. This one is one that I did. My son is, foxes are his spirit animal. So, yeah, I did him a fox, and it looks like a diamond or two has come off, so I'm going to have to fix that. And then this one, I think a lot of you have seen. That's the one that I made for my hubby. I've got to get it mounted and framed. And then here's another one that I did at the same time, because I wanted to give my hubby a choice between what ones I made. And he chose the one with the purple in it, of course. And then this is another one I made, and I did post that on Facebook. Yeah, I love anything to do with moons. In fact, I am working on a moon one, kind of intermittently. Camille has been doing a full moon. She's calling it a full moon crochet along, but I chose to do diamond painting instead and do a moon project. So this is my full moon project that I'm in. And I ordered some special drills for this painting. You can order Aurora Borealis, and you can get glow in the dark ones. So I ordered glow in the dark ones to do the moon with, and it's pretty neat, and they do really glow. So yeah, so that's oh, Marianne, there are some neat Tree of Life images out there. I bet you could find a good one. I don't love Temu, but I will have to say that you can get diamond painting kits at really reasonable prices over there. So I have broken down and ordered some diamond painting kits from Temu. And so, yeah, I have been ordering a lot of kits for gifts for friends. So a lot of you that are here today and have known me for a while may be seeing something show up in your mail sooner or later. I'm not going to promise they're going to be right away, but as soon as I can possibly get things in the mail, I'm going to be doing that. Yeah, so that's what I've been working on lately. And then as far as crochet, let me grab one project. Well, let me grab a couple. Bear with me a minute. Pardon my mess, you guys. So Camille had done a summer top challenge. So this was my first one I did for the challenge. Cute little tank top. And I just kind of whipped that up with no pattern. And then this is another one that I have yet to finish, but I've got to sew the straps on and sew in all my tails, but that is my second summer top. And that was kind of fun. I like doing the big chevron design. And then I'm working on another couple of tops as well. Yeah, that was actually a color changing yarn. Well, both of those are color changing yarns, so I didn't do any color control or anything, just let it go. So my Joanns yarn haul. I wasn't gonna go to Joanns. I went a couple of weeks ago and looked around when everything was 50% off. And I didn't end up buying anything. I walked in the store, walked around, looked at all the yarn. They didn't have any of the menagerie that I was hoping to see, so I didn't end up buying anything. But yesterday I was going grocery shopping and I have to go by Joann's to go to the grocery store. So I decided, oh, okay. So I swung into Joann's. And of course, everything's 60% off now. So I went ahead and looked around at the yarn. You know, Julianne, I'm not really sure. I don't know the names of them. So I just knew if the one I wanted caught my eye, you know, I'd go ahead and get it. But they had no menagerie left yesterday. They had a lot of K&C cotton in cream, which, I mean, if I was into, you know, wanting to make something with cotton, I might have gotten some. But I have a lot of cotton yarn. A few years back, ordered a ton of cotton from Hobby. So I have a lot of cotton. But yep, that's probably the one I was looking for, Julianne. So anyway, I went ahead, and since Big Twist was all marked 60% off, I went ahead and bought 10 skeins. So it's a, you know, it's a small haul, but I kind of bought some colors that I figured I would use together, and my camera is not doing these justice at all. So these four, I actually bought 8 of these, 2 of each color, and I figured I'm going to do some project with all of these and probably put some black in there too. Not sure yet what the project is going to be, but I've got 8 skeins plus a pound skein of black, so I'll be able to do something. And then I bought 2 skeins of this caramel color that I've got a sweater that I'm working on, and I decided to grab a couple more skeins of that just so I could be sure and have enough for my sweater if I wanted to make the sweater longer. So I walked out of Joann's for less than 20 bucks, which is seriously unheard of. Normally when I go to Joanns, I spend a lot more than 20 bucks. So yeah, I felt pretty good. I kind of was patting myself on the back for that. But yeah, if I was to find the menagerie, the one with the purple and cream and hint of pink, probably would be, yeah, well, my problem with that, Julianne, is finances. I have to really watch now that I'm retired and on a fixed income. I kind of have to watch. How many do I need? I don't know. I really don't need any, to tell you the truth. So, um, yeah, I've got so much yarn. I'm never going to use all my yarn in my lifetime, probably. So, yeah, my Joann's had a ton of blanket yarn, and I'm just, well, Kimberly, yeah, that's true. We always need yarn, but I truthfully don't need yarn. If I'm being absolutely honest with myself and you, I really don't need yarn. I have a shelf. I have my big shelf down the basement, absolutely stuffed with yarn, and yeah, I should be using that. I mean, I'm most of it I bought and bought with, things in mind, and yes, we want yarn. That's the thing. We don't necessarily need, but we want. I am trying to whittle mine down bit by bit. I have been, trying to plan projects and work on projects to go through some of my stash, but you can only crochet so fast, and I can only crochet with one hand at a time. If I could crochet with both hands, I'd be great. I could work on a project with each hand and get through it twice as fast. Well, Kimmy, I will have to agree. I need all the yarn I have because it makes me happy. Teach our feet to crochet. Yeah, that would be a trick. That would be a trick, Julian. But yeah, so yeah, I like the denim color. I had some of that a while back. I made a baby blanket with and did a filet crochet blocks with teddy bears, and sometimes, Lana, I can usually get my feet to walk. Um, it's my knees that want to give me trouble. Oh, I'm so sorry, Kimmy. Ours is going to be, we're down to our last 10 days. So it's going to be soon. And there were lots of ladies in there yesterday buying up yarn. There were ladies with carts full of yarn. Okay, Kimberly, have fun. Show us pictures of what you're planting. I planted pansies and sweet peas. I built a raised bed because I moved my mailbox out into my front yard. I got the rural type mailbox, and instead of trying to dig a hole down into the yard to put concrete and all that jazz, I just did a raised bed and put the concrete in there, and then put dirt around it and plant it every year. So I got some pansies and some sweet peas. So I got deep purple pansies and then mixed color sweet peas. And I'm going to put some wire around the post of my mailbox so that the sweet peas, I can train them to climb up it. Karen, Icy is doing wonderfully. He is enjoying the fact that it's nice weather and I'm letting him spend pretty much all his time outside now. He gets to be out in the backyard most of the day, being a wild dog. And then he comes and hangs out on the front porch so he can lay out there and be a nosy dog. Yes, he is a really good boy, I will have to say. My husband might beg to differ, but because he's the one that takes him out on walks. Yeah, the other night I went out in the backyard and Icy had caught a little rabbit and he was not about to let me have it. And I think he probably had it for dinner because I never did find it. So, but I can't really say a whole lot. That's just part of his instinct that, isn't going to ever go away. So, small animals, extra snacks, exactly. Yeah, just going to have to deal with the fact that small animals don't need to be in our backyard. If they are, they're at the mercy of the Icy. What can you do? It didn't make him sick if he ate it, so I'm just always leery of him eating his catches because you never know what wild animals might be carrying. But I kind of checked online, and rabbits tend to have a very low incidence of rabies, so I'm not so worried about that. Raccoons I'm really scared of. Hey Judy, good to see you too. Thanks for stopping in. I love you. Appreciate you stopping in. Good to see you too. Yeah, raccoons are very nasty. A couple of years ago, he wanted out about 3 o'clock in the morning. So I took him and I opened the back door and I hadn't flipped on the back porch light. So unbeknownst to me, there was a pair of raccoons out in the backyard. So as soon as I opened the screen door, he charged and went after those raccoons. And I kid you not, if I ever had a thought of what the devil might sound like, that's what those raccoons sounded like. They were scary. And he got them cornered over in the corner of the fence. And luckily, they climbed up and over and out of the yard. But man, the sounds they were making before they went out, scared me half to death. And of course, I ran out there and grabbed his collar so that he couldn't get any closer to him. But man, it just scared me half to death. Yes, raccoons are pretty awful. Funny story, when I used to have 2 big maple trees out in my front yard. And I had to have them cut down a few years back. Well, one of them, when they cut it down, it's kind of funny because I had to get permission from the city to have them cut down. And they gave me permission, but said I had to replace them with other trees within a couple of years because they were healthy trees. Well, when they cut these trees down, they were so hollow. I was like, how are these healthy trees? So one of the guys, when they cut the one tree down, it had a great big hollow space in it. And we could see that there was an animal in it. So he goes over to the log that they had just cut off where the animal is, and he's sticking his arm up inside the hollow space. And I'm like, what are you doing? You don't know what's in there. You could get bit. And so he looked at me real funny, and he took a rake and took the handle and went over and was poking down the hollow part of the log. And the fattest raccoon I have ever seen comes lumbering out the other end of the log and took off somewhere. And I was like, oh my God. And one of the other guys says, oh, he always is doing that. I was like, he is going to get bit one of these days and end up with rabies if he gets bit by a raccoon, because raccoons are notorious for carrying rabies. But yeah, just crazy. He needed a push. Yeah, he needed a push. All right. I have a feeling it might have been a female, and I have a feeling she may have been a mama, from the way she looked. It kind of looked like maybe it was pregnant, but yeah, it went waddling off down the street to go haunt somebody else's hollow tree. But yeah, that was crazy. But now my husband said there were some raccoons trying to get into the backyard the other night, and Icy scared them back off. Icy he has gotten a few possums. Now he's only killed one, but he has, gotten a couple others, and of course they played dead. But yeah, no small animal is safe in my backyard. He keeps my backyard mouse free. He is one of the best mouser. I don't need a cat for keeping the mice away. I've got an Icy. So what's everybody got on their hook? Anything fun? Yes, he is good at his job, Julianne. Sometimes a little too good, yes. Marianne, I will have to say, of the ones that I've seen so far that you've done, that one with the orange and red and the blue bottom, I love that one. Oh, 15 rows to go. Almost done. Woohoo! Boggy Creek blankets. Oh, nice. Slipper socks. I made some socks a while ago, and I have yet to wear them. But they're white. And I'm kind of afraid to wear them because I know they won't be white anymore. So I'm going to make myself another pair of these in gray. Then I can wear them and not be so worried about how grubby they get. That was the first. This is the first pair of crocheted socks that I've made, that I've done the heel shaping and all that. It was fun. The pattern, can't think of who the pattern was by, but yeah, it was a YouTube tutorial, and it was like a beginner sock tutorial. I really liked it, so I'm going to find it again, and I'll post it when I find it again, and anybody that wants to try it. Yep, gotta take the dogs out. They get demanding. Um, I have done several pairs of socks on my Centro, um, and just done little tube socks without all the shaping. And then I usually finish them off with some crochet at the top. And oh, I love doves. My husband, I mean, they're beautiful birds. My husband does not like mourning doves, though. We have a lot of them in this neighborhood, and he hates the sound that they make. So, um, okay, Debbie, I will post the the tutorial when I find it. I'll post the link. Um, but we have a lot of birds in my neighborhood. It's really fun to sit outside. In fact, I went outside about 5 o'clock the other morning to take Icy out, and that's when the time when all the birds are starting to wake up and get noisy, and it's really fun to sit out there and listen to all the different bird calls. We have next door, they have a big silver maple tree, and the whole trunk of the tree it's like a bird condo. It's just whole, 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 whole for several stories. Um, so yeah, the woodpeckers get over there and make holes and nest for 1 year, and then the next year they make a new hole and a new nest. So, well, Karen, um, interestingly enough, we do have a lot of crows in the neighborhood. Um, they don't seem to scare all the other birds away, though. We also have a ton of hawks in this neighborhood. In fact, Shokri, my husband, was out on the front porch one day, and there was a mouse going out across the front yard, and a hawk came down right in front of him and grabbed that mouse. And he just freaked out. He came in and he was like, "That was a huge bird, just came and got that mouse." I was like, "Yeah, it's a hawk." Those puppies are so cute, Kimmy. Yeah, I love hawks too. They're really fun to watch. Um, Out at one of the parks near us, they have a um, viewing station set up so you can go watch the eagles. There's a big eagle's nest out there, and you can go out and stand at the viewing station and watch them going out and around and hunting and stuff. So yeah, it's fun to live in an area where you still have access to wildlife. Of course, what's funny is I live in town. I live in South Bend, and I'm kind of just a little bit out of downtown. But you go 15 miles any direction, or 15 minutes, I should say, any direction from my house, and you'll be out in the country. So, um, yeah, it's really fun because we can drive 15 minutes southeast and be out in the heart of Amish country, or drive 15 minutes north and be in Michigan, up in farm country. So yeah, it's nice. So, how long have we been here? I can't see my timer. There we are, 40 minutes. Okay. I guess we can stay a little bit longer. Yes, I am very close to Russ. He is up in Niles, which is actually where I was born. I was born up in Niles. Um, and I still have a lot of family up there. And it's like from my front door to my uncle's front door is 20 minutes. So I should go yarn shopping at his house. Yeah. Now that he's feeling better, I need to get in touch with him. We had talked about possibly getting together and going to do something fun one day, maybe going yarn shopping. We had talked about going to the South Bend Chocolate Company. They give tours of their factory. So we had talked about possibly, there's one other gal that is a mod on his channel who also lives here in South Bend. So we had talked about the three of us getting together on a weekend and going to do maybe a chocolate factory tour and lunch and some yarn shopping possibly. So yeah, that would be fun. What am I going to do with the rest of my day? Well, I really need to clean my kitchen. I need to cook. I need to cook something enough to have leftovers for the hubby to have lunch tomorrow. And I need to get out and work in my garden. Yesterday I went shopping and I went 4 different places, including Joanns as one of those 4. But by the time I got home, I was destroyed. My day was ruined. Walking around stores with hard floors just absolutely kills my knees. And once my knees start hurting, I walk funny to try and favor my knees, and then my back and my hips start hurting. So a day of shopping, just pretty much that's it for the day. It kills me. So I got home and took some pain relievers and laid down, hoped to take a nap. Really didn't get a nap, but I laid and read and just chilled out pretty much all day. Got up long enough to make some supper, and pretty much right after supper went back to bed. So yeah, that was my day. You know, it is what it is. My husband doesn't understand why I shop the way I do. He wants me to go shopping like every week. And I'm like, the store doesn't get any smaller if I shop one day a week. You know, I still have to walk the same amount. So I try to do my shopping every other week so that it only ruins one day every other week instead of one day a week. Yeah, so you know, I go to Walmart and I pick up a few things there, and then we have a local grocery store that I like to go to because they have good sales. So I go there and pick up what they have on sale. Yes, it does suck getting old. Aging is not for sissies, that is for sure. Yep. And I try not to be a sissy about it, but you know, I am just definitely feeling it. I mean, you know, I know I'm not able to do all the things that I've been able to do for so many years. Yeah, I'm not able to do that anymore. I wish the warm weather would really get here so that my hubby and I could get up to the lake. If we could get up to the lake and I could do some beach walking. Beach walking really helps me because it it strengthens my legs back up some, and then, it helps me for the rest of the summer, to get around better. Um, because I can go up and beach walk. Yeah, softer on the sand, exactly. I can go up and beach walk for miles, and of course, a benefit of that is I can go up and rock hound on the beach. So, um, yeah. So I'm looking forward to weather getting here to where we can get up to the beach. And once the weather gets to where we can get up to the beach, I will go ahead and get us a annual pass for the state park so that we can go up there. And because it's, with us being out of state, it's, I think, $9 a pop to get into the state park. So paying for a um, park pass for a year is really worth it. A few times I go into the park and it's paid for itself. Hey Sandra, nice to see you. Welcome in. Yes, everybody, please do hit the thummies. I would really appreciate it. Lana, I used to get all my groceries delivered from Walmart. I do like it somewhat. Sometimes they crack me up. One time, there's a certain kind of mayonnaise that I like to get, which is usually in the Mexican food aisle, and it is McCormick's brand, and it's called Mayonesa, and it's made with lime juice. And so one time I ordered the Mayonesa, and apparently they couldn't find it. So they sent me a jar of, they substituted a jar of mayonnaise and a container of real lime juice. And I was like, no, that is not a substitution for the mayonnaise that I wanted. Lana, if you can find the mayonnaise, it is so good. And what I love to do with it is brush a really thin coating of it on chicken before I bake it or grill it. It gives chicken such a good flavor, especially like if you're going to chop it up and do something like fajitas or something like that. It is so yummy. So yeah, if you can find that mayonnaise, good stuff. I like making my own mayonnaise. Yes, I do put it on sandwiches, Lana. Yep. Hey, Panda, welcome in. Good to see you. Happy Sunday. Yep, I like it mixed in tuna. I like it on pretty much any kind of sandwich that you put mayonnaise on. It's got a good flavor. What are you up to, Panda? Anything fun? Uh-oh. Marianne's pouncing. Hey, Marty. Welcome in. Good to see you. So nice to see you too. I partook a little too much last night. I don't partake anymore. I yeah. You know what's funny? Well, I will have to say the last time that I actually was anything close to drunk was when I went camping a couple years ago with my brother. But I my body, the way I metabolize alcohol anymore, I can't get drunk. I can't drink enough to get drunk. So I just don't bother. I usually, what happens is I end up getting the headache, the hangover headache, before I am done drinking. So it's not worth it's not worth drinking. Yeah, I normally stay home too, but I don't I don't drink here at home. My husband is a non-drinker, so I really don't drink. Um, so yeah, I just it's not. I guess I'm to the age now where it's just not worth it anymore. So yeah, don't don't do it. I used to love to party. I used to be a definitely a party girl, but not anymore. In fact, I've got a bottle of wine that I had bought a few years ago when a friend was here, and it's still in my refrigerator. It's been there for probably 3 years now. So that tells you how much I drink. A rough night with aliens. Yeah, talking about aliens. So the other Friday night, when we had the weird lightning storm, I was out on the front porch watching this lightning, and I kept seeing lights going back and forth in the clouds. Now, I'm not sure if that was part of the lightning, if it was like sprites, but it kind of reminded me of what it would look like if somebody was taking a really strong flashlight and flashing it back and forth in the clouds. But I didn't see any light coming from the ground going upwards. So I don't know what I was seeing. This is the first time I've said anything about it, but yeah, it was really strange. And it was like in one part of the clouds first, and then a little later on, it was a little further over to the north and flashing up, and yeah, it was just very, very strange. Panda, I love lightning shows too. I am a big, big, huge storm freak. So, and Marianne knows because she watches storm chasers too. I am addicted to storm chase videos. So I watch, I have my TV on, my phone on, my tablet on. I'll be watching three different storm chasers at the same time. It's just, yeah. But I keep track of what's going on in the weather all over the country that way. Oh, yeah. Um, Several years back, my husband and I had ordered a whole lot of Moroccan style lanterns and sold them. And so I have a few pieces left from that. So I've got one of the purple ones, I've got a really neat star shaped one, and I've got one big one that's several different colors in it. And I actually hooked that one up so that it's got electricity to it. And we've got it hanging out in our back hallway. It's like kind of our night light. I turn it on every night for when my husband comes home. He'll have light to come in. And, you know, Marianne, I thought about it possibly being sprites. That was one thought, is that it might have been sprites. Funny story about lightning. When I was in my teens, I was our built-in babysitter for the family. And so during summer vacation, I was pretty much stuck at home all day with my brothers and sister. So one day we were at home, summer vacation, and we're all stuck in the house because we had crazy storms going on. And Catherine, yes, I watch Brandon, Corey, and Vince. Yes, and Connor. Yeah, I've been, yes, I watch those, that bunch. Um, Hi, Dottie. Welcome in. Hello, Just Bread. Um, so, yeah, we were all stuck in the house because we were having bad storms. And my brothers got into a fight and they were rolling around on the floor fighting like cats and dogs. And I kept telling them to quit, kept telling them. They weren't listening. Finally, I got, you know, just had it up to here. And I said, God, quit it. And all of a sudden, kablam! And they stopped and they kind of rolled apart and looked at me and they were like, my one brother, he's a smartass. He looks at me and says, well, you didn't have to get mad about it. So after the storm was over, we walked out to see where the lightning had struck. It had split a tree about 20 feet out from the corner of the house. Split it right down the center. I was like, wow. Okay. And then one night I was laying in bed and the lightning struck really close, and it struck so close I could hear the arcing of the electricity. And that was a little scary. So, yeah. K-pop. My sister is really into K-pop, Antonio. There's one band that she really, really loves, and I can't think of what the name of it is. But yeah, she's really hooked on it. Yeah, there is. It's very amazing the power in a lightning strike. I just saw a thing this morning. I think it might have been on Facebook. Um, there's a company up in Michigan that does like dune buggy tours. They have some property and they have trails, and they were out cleaning up their trails getting ready for the new season, and they found a um, a fulgurite, which is where the lightning hits the sand and turns it into glass. And yeah, they found a like a 12-foot long fulgurite out in the sand. So, ooh, strike the guard tower. That would be scary. When I was, yeah, Reese Witherspoon, Sweet Home Alabama. That's a good movie. Um, when I lived in Tennessee, I was out shopping one day, and this one bag boy was helping me out with my groceries, and he was this big, tall, skinny kid. I mean, he was well over 6 foot, and it was getting ready. It was starting to storm, and so there's lightning boinging around, and I said, ooh, that's some scary lightning. I said, you know, lightning usually goes for the tallest thing around. I said, and you're pretty tall. He starts ducking down. It's like, I think I scared him. Poor kid. Really shouldn't do that to kids. Yeah, well, what can I say? I have that kind of sense of humor. Well, you guys, it has been an hour, so I think I am going to let you all go and continue on with your day. I'm going to continue on with mine. I've got a lot to do, so I better get to it. I could sit here a lot longer, but well, Antonio, now that I've started back to doing some lives, maybe I'll do them a little more often. I haven't been on since Christmas, I guess. So, um, yeah, I'll try and get back on soon, maybe at least once a week, and chat with everybody. So it's been great seeing all of you. Um, If you're not subscribed to my channel, please do. I can use all the subscriptions, and please drop the thumbs up on your way out. If you didn't drop them already, I'd really appreciate it. So, bye everybody. It's been really good seeing you. Thanks for stopping in and spending time with me. Have a great rest of the day.